Hello everyone, it is me. I am back with another video, and today we are going to be doing a sketchbook tour. I've filled in about half of this sketchbook, which is generally when I like to film my sketchbook tours, so I have time to talk about everything that's in there. I don't know why I'm stroking it. This is really weird. How about I stop? Okay, so with that very interesting introduction out the way, let's get into it. I should probably tell you about my stickers. These are all stickers that I made myself, as you can probably tell. And then these are just a couple of stickers that I got from the reject shop, a couple more from the reject shop, and then this is a sticker that I made which is glittery. I don't know if it will show up on camera. What if I bring my light over? Oh, there we go. Now you can see. And these are some Mr. Bean stickers that my grandparents put to like seal an envelope that they gave me. I don't know how they haven't run out already. They've been doing it for a long time. I love it. So I stuck them on the front of my sketchbook because I really like them and I appreciate them and they're nostalgic. When did I start this? I think I've had this sketchbook for like a year already, which is scary because I've only filled half of it. So this was just sort of like a welcome page, being like, we're in a new sketchbook? What the heck? This spread, even though it's like really old now, has to be one of my favorites. I don't know why. It just looks really nice together, even though I think their faces look a little bit weird in places, but look at it. So here we have Archie when he first got his cat Scooch. And as anyone with cats knows, when you first get them, they hide under things. They're like, what is this strange place that you have brought me to? I am going to disappear and you will not see me until I get hungry. So he's trying to coax her out with some food. And then we have Scooch as a kitten and Scooch as an old cat. She would be very old by the time Julie comes around. And she's just the sort of cat to let Julie do whatever because Julie is everything. And then here we have Archie and Monty. I know I don't really talk about their story like at all, but this is the point in the story where they haven't seen each other for a little while and Archie grows his hair out and Monty's like, oh my god, I did not know how luscious these locks had become, and I love it. This one I really like, and I recently made it available as a print on my online store, which is linked down below, because I still like it even a year later. I really like what I did with the lighting, and I remember putting a lot of effort into this background because there's like stairs and perspective, and it might not be 100% correct, but like, I am so proud. Here we have Archie's mum Claire and her boyfriend. Ooh, ooh. His name's Chester. Everyone loves him. He's gorgeous. He's amazing. He's so sweet. And he is a landscaper, loves to garden, loves to be outside. And Claire works with her sister at the florist shop. So look at them planting. They're planting together. I don't know what they're planting. What is that? I don't know. I don't care. They're adorable and that's all that matters. Then we have a little sketch of Monty. He looks like a snake. It's really difficult to get his face right, especially if I haven't drawn him for a while, and this does not look good. Neither does this one. But whatever. Broccoli Brain is here. He is queer. And he's hugging Archie's mum. Then I did one of those like facial expression things. I'm pretty sure this is a redraw of like a facial expression thing I did way back in my first sketchbook tour. I might be able to find it. Hold on.
2,000 years later.
So yeah, it is a redraw of this, which I'm pretty sure I did back in like 2016 or 17. I think I've come a long way. I'm very proud of how it turned out. Let's get rid of this monstrosity. So here is a quick close-up of all of his expressions, because he's a mime. He's the best one to draw expressions for because they're all going to be exaggerated and fun. And I should draw Birdie more often because I really love him. And his story could be more developed. This one, I referenced that meme of that woman who's like really disgusted. What is this? This is a very faint sketch of Sparky, I'm assuming. Then we have Adair and little baby Sparky in a bear onesie. You heard me, a bear onesie. Hate this pink background, but Love these two, so can't complain too much. And then this is Sparky's stuffed animal. His name is Zip. He is a little monster. Then we have a teenage Sparky doing what Sparky does, being sparkly. And then we have a Holden panel van, which is the car that Adair drives. It is his prized possession. He only has one prized possession, and it is this car. Then we have Emilio. I think I was experimenting with those pastel highlighters, and yeah, I really like how this turned out. I was pretty much just going for it, had no clue what I was doing, and it was an absolute fluke that it came out looking good, but here we are. Then we have Emilio in one of his favorite outfits that I referenced from Pinterest, of course. And then we have another one of Emilio just looking shocked, lovey-dovey, I don't know. Then we have an alternate universe, I guess, of Julie. They're meant to be like a young adult in this drawing, but I think I made their head a little bit too big. They kind of still look like a child, but that doesn't matter. It is a cottagecore AU where Julie makes jam and sells jam, and oh my god, Julie's jam. They're so freaking adorable. I'm almost considering, like, does this have to be an AU? Can this not be canon? They can move into a cottage with Elijah and make jam. There's nothing stopping them. Then we have Elijah. This is Julie's partner in their teen years and onwards. And I was just experimenting with some of their outfits. They play rugby, so this is a staple outfit of theirs. They wear it every week. This one is also an outfit that I think they would wear a lot. These two I'm not so sure about, but this is a vibe and this is a vibe. Thumbs up, I don't know. I didn't know how to finish my sentence, so I just... Then we have a pen sketch of Monty biting his lip like some kind of e-boy. I don't know what's going on, but he looks pretty cool. I really like how that hand turned out, because I'm pretty sure I went straight in pen, maybe, or I had a pencil sketch. I don't know, but this hand turned out decent, and I still like it to this day, so that's a plus. This is Archie and Monty meeting for the first time, I guess. I don't know. Why else would he be introducing himself? And why else would Archie be absolutely smitten by this little green Frenchman? And this one I drew after this one. Was not as happy with how this one turned out, but it's fine. You can't win them all. And this was the point in the sketchbook where I realized that I don't really draw enough women, so I decided to draw Monty's sister Evelyn, because it's been so long since I last drew her. I don't even know. Even now looking at this was from May last year, so like, I should draw her more often. She's got Beetlejuice vibes. She's gorgeous. I love her. I should draw her after this. Oh, I love this page so much. Oh my god. This just showcases the chaos of their friendship. This is Butch, Rusty, and Flex. Rusty and Flex have been friends since birth, basically. And Butch joined them back when they were like 18 or 19, which was back in like the 70s. So they've all been friends a very long time. They get along like a house on fire, and they're very chaotic. So here is a close-up of Butch. I really love drawing him. He is so cool. He is a professional piercer. Then this is Rusty trying to hypnotize Butch, as he does on many occasions. And this is Flex, most likely drunk, putting his hand on the dartboard and letting Rusty and Butch throw darts at it, thinking that by some miracle they would hit the board and not him. But as you can see, that is not the case, and he's not even fazed. Then I decided to practice some expressions for Butch, because I'd never really done that before. He's a relatively new character, so I did some expressions. This one is my favorite. This has to be one of my favorite drawings in the entire book. It is that meme that we all know and love, and yeah, somehow Flex has gained laser vision. He's zapping Rusty in the booty, and Rusty is like, yes! I love his expression so much, it's unbelievable. Then we have some teeny tiny sketches of Felix getting ready in the morning. He wakes up and his hair's all like flicky, so he has to brush it down to become his sparkly self. And here's him and Bertha saying good morning to each other, as you do in the morning. And then we have Bertha working on her sewing machine because she loves to sew. That is her thing. She loves to make clothes. She makes costumes for everyone at the freak show. She makes dresses for all of her friends. Like, she's basically everyone's mum at the freak show, and everyone loves her. She loves everyone. I love her. Look at her go. She's too pure. She's too pure. And this is when I was romancing Harvey in Stardew Valley, so I became obsessed. Still kinda am. If you've played it, you'll understand. This is him talking on his radio. This is him in his aerobics class, which I feel like this is what he should have been wearing. He was doing aerobics in his trench coat and tie. Like, he should have been wearing this. So that's why I drew that. And then just him down the bottom. I might draw him again down the track. Oh, and I did. This is him. This is really hard to read, this drawing, and it's kind of messy. I decided last second that I wanted it to be like a sunrise or a sunset or something. I don't know. So the colors didn't really work, but it's a vibe. He's saying hello to this cat, as you do. His eyes are so crooked and far apart. Okay, let's move on. This is him working on his model aeroplanes and jamming out to some music. Then up here we have a chicken in pink because yes. And then we have Maddie, who, he's a character that I haven't drawn since that first sketchbook tour I keep referring back to. I can go get it. I'll go get it. I'll show you what I'm about to talk about.
A few moments later.
So this is what he looked like back in 2016. He had a beard, he had long hair, he gained the name Purple Jesus, and I love it. And this was me drawing him without his beard purely because when I designed him, I didn't have any characters with beards or thick eyebrows or long hair or anything, and now I do. So I was like, ugh, he's starting to look a little bit like my other characters, but without his beard, he's just not Purple Jesus. He looks cool, I like him, but he needs to grow that beard back right now. But I really like his nose and his eyes. So at least he's got some distinguishing features, I guess. Then we have the King AU. This is when Adair is king. This was a lot of fun, and I think he looks really cool like this, so I might have to delve deeper into the King AU, who knows? And then this was done with these pens, these like these Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liners. And I've really gotten into sketching with them. I think it looks really cool. So I just drew Benson eating a sandwich, as you do. This page I really like. This is Headless Ned with his chicken. The chicken's name is Doris, and they are best friends. He loves her very much. And here is him coming home with 16 chickens, which I feel like he'd do. He'd just go for a walk, come back to the freak show, 16 chickens, and they would just ask no questions. They'd just be like, cool, cool. This is also one of my favorites, and I don't think I've posted it anywhere, which is weird, but it is Butch using Flex as a mop, because that's what I think about when I see Flex's hair. It just looks like a mop. So there he is, doing the Lord's work. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Then we have Emilio's younger sister, Nusha. Love her. Adorable. This is her girlfriend, Harper. I should draw them more often. Look at how freaking cute they are. My god. Duh. And then we have some swatches. I got some of those Crayola Super Tips that everyone loves so much, and I swatched them, and then I never used them again. Even though I want to, I just don't know what to use them for. And then we have Flex poking his tongue out because he has his tongue pierced, but like it's not the sort of place that you see all the time when you're drawing someone. It doesn't really show up. So I was like, I want to show everyone he's got his tongue pierced, and the only way to do that is for him to stick his tongue out. So that's what's going on. Then we have an ear. This is Emilio's ear. This is the only piercing that Emilio has, and it's because he is afraid of blood, he is afraid of needles. He has a matching piercing with Nusha, which apparently I didn't draw there, but they both got this bit of their ear pierced. And Emilio threw up and nearly passed out, so that's why that's the only piercing he ever got. Here we have Julie on their scooter, zooming around. And another sketch of Julie. This one is them in their teen years. And then we have Archie and Monty having a little bit of a smooch. Monty's got his glass of wine. Just a couple of guys being dudes. Then we have Elijah. I think I mentioned earlier, this is Julie's partner. This is them in their football uniform. And then this is them a little bit later when they've grown their hair out a little bit. Just having a blast with their lizard. Their lizard's name is Jube. This one looks a little bit weird. Both their faces. Hers is a little jacked up. His is a little giant. But yeah. I think I did this same drawing with different characters later on by accident. I didn't even realize, but here we are. This is Adair back when he's like a young adult and his younger sister Erin, and she's showing him how to do some makeup because this boy, a couple of times as a teenager stole his sister's makeup because he was like scared of asking. I don't know. It was the 90s. He was a closeted teen. It's fine. But she's like, boy, you could have just asked and I would have done the makeup for you and it would have looked good. So I'm gonna show you how it's done. Oh, and this is older Adair. Not old. He's like 39. He's not old, but like older. This is older Adair. This is him with his hair in a little palm tree type doodad, and he's got his glasses on, which he is really terrible about wearing his glasses, so this is a rare occasion. He is the sort of person that even though he cannot read a single thing without them, he'll just pretend that he can. He's like, no, I don't need my glasses. I don't want my glasses. And then you'll ask him to read something and he'll be like squinting and like holding it in weird places, like, and at the end of the day, he has to go get his glasses anyway, so boy, you look good in them. Just wear them. This is Emilio squishing Adair's cheeks. And then this is Adair on a shopping trip, licking a lollipop. Dang, I want a lollipop now. I found a lollipop. I'm gonna eat this after this video. And then we have Archie, Monty, and Ping based on that meme, which I will put up if I can find it. Ping is asexual, so he's perfectly fine being by himself. It doesn't really bother him, but I thought that this would be a perfect interaction for them all because they're best friends. It's fine. And then this was like an experimental drawing with Archie. I was trying to go like a little bit more realistic. Didn't really work, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Got some lighting in there. Got some texture in there. And yeah, I think it looks really cool. Especially this bit. I don't know. Then we have Bertie in some more plain clothes. So he's borrowed one of Lillian's shirts, which is way too big for him. And he doesn't have his makeup on. He doesn't have his little neck scarf on. So he's a little bit anxious, but he'll get through it. He's fine. He's off on a shopping trip. He's got his bag. They're gonna get him some nice new clothes. It's gonna be great. And then we have a couple of sketches of Shrimp without their giant pointy hat. This is how they usually dress, but then I started like drawing these tiny little things of like alternate outfits because I always draw them in that one, and this can be like their little summer farmer outfit and their little PJs with like giant pants. Oh my god, they're too cute. I should draw like bigger versions of these because it's just too much. They're just too pure. So this one has a story behind it. I will not be afraid to admit that I was sad this day. I was stressed. This is how I looked. And then I drew this. Somehow it made me feel a lot better. And I think it's a really cute drawing after all that. And then we have Rusty, who's like, oi, what are you doing on my shoulder? I really love drawing Rusty with like heaps of bags under his eyes, even though he's not tired. He's just kind of old and weathered. And then this is when my friend let me borrow their Copic markers, and I just had a bit of an experiment with them, really. They had like a lot of skin tones, which I don't have. When I bought my Copics, I bought like 20 of them, and I picked them at random, so it's all like bright green, bright orange, bright, all these colors that I can't use. So it was really nice to have a decent selection of colors to pick from. and I'm really happy with how this turned out. I also did this one, which I'm also very happy with how it turned out. Then in the corner, this is Rusty's dad. His name is Arthur, but everyone calls him Artie. And he's a history teacher, apparently. I think I wrote that there because I kept forgetting, like I kept giving him an occupation and then forgetting what it was. So I'm like, I have to write it down or else I will forget again. And then this is a pen sketch of Elijah in that outfit again because I found it on Pinterest and I really like the way it looks. On the flip side, I really hate these drawings. I was running off like 4 hours sleep and this was my best attempt at drawing. Oh my god. And then we have Butch down the bottom just to fill in the final gap in this pink page. Then this has to be another one of my absolute favorite drawings in the entire sketchbook. I was with my friend, we were sort of bouncing ideas off each other and we were losing it at this drawing. We just kept going back and forth, adding elements, and this was the final product. He's got this sheer sparkly shirt with nips and nipple ring hanging out. He's got like this slicked back hair. We've got the more you know and a rainbow. Why? I don't know. And then we have a higher opacity version of Rusty. He's got the messy hair. He's shirtless. He's playing the harmonica, spelling the words kazoo with his nipple ring. This was my artistic peak, and if you agree with me, it is available as a print on my online store, so check that out in the link below. Oh, and this I did later on. This is Adair reacting to his father's outfit, and he is kind of horrified. Adair will support his dad no matter what, but this is pushing it a little bit for him right now. Then we have more Rusty, and the more I draw him, the more gray hair I give him. I think the first time I drew him, he just had like a little wisp of gray hair down the sides, and now I'm like, no, wisps in the hair, wisps in the fringe, wisps in the beard. And then we have him dressed as like a fairy princess thing. I'd imagine that this was him playing dress up with Adair and Erin when they were little, and he loves every second of it. This is a reference that not a lot of people are going to get. It's a reference to the first episode of The Young Ones, where they're demolishing their house from the inside and they kick a hole through the wall, and it just switches to like these two people in a dark room trying to keep warm by the light of this lamp. And they say like this whole poetic monologue thing, I don't know. And then we have Flex being impulsive. I feel like one day he'd go home from the pub, next day he'd show up, Rusty and Butch would see this and be like, where'd your hair go? Where'd it go? And then we have Adair and Emilio in bear onesies because I really wanted to buy a bear onesie, but it was kind of expensive and it was from like a shady looking website. Didn't know if I'd actually get the bear onesie if I ordered it, so I decided to just draw them in the bear onesies. Look at how cute they are. Oh my god. I love my characters too much. This page I really like the look of as well. We've got Sparky in his purple coat, which I did not consider purple as a color to dress him in until I drew this, and I'm like, oh my god, you look so good in purple. Like, why have I not been putting you in purple this whole time? And this yellow, I didn't even realize how well this yellow goes with purple. So overall, I was just like, my god, you've changed my life, Sparky. Thank you. Then I went on to draw Archie and Sparky as kids because they lived across the road from each other back when they were little, and they used to spend like every waking moment together. So that's why I drew them. They're so cute. So cute. Then I have a couple of sketches of Archie playing rugby. I think he looks really cool, and I like the way it turned out. Oh, this is the drawing that I was talking about that's literally the same pose as that other one, and I didn't even realize until like today. So this is Erica and Archie back when he's like 17 or 18. This is his girlfriend at that time because he and Sparky drifted apart due to circumstances that they could not control. Archie moved to a different school. He wasn't 100% sure. He's like, am I a gay? Am I a straight? Honey, you're not straight. They eventually broke up, but they stayed good friends because she's like, I get it, man. I get it. You were confused. It's fine. And here's them again, drinking a Monster Energy drink for some reason. I don't know why. I've never even drank a Monster Energy drink, so I don't know what it tastes like, but that's what they're doing. And then we have this one, which is Felix and Sunny in Felix's trailer, having a sip of some tea. And then we have, I don't even know what style this is, but I just slapped it down and I was like, hell yeah. Little chubby Sunny. These I'm also really proud of. I really like to do like layouts of the environments that my characters spend a lot of time in, because I feel like it really helps with stuff like this, like when you want to do this sort of thing, if you know the layout of the house that your character's in, it makes it a lot easier to know like where they're placed. I don't know. So yeah, I just did the layout of Bertha's trailer and Felix's trailer. These caravans are really fun to draw, but also really annoying to draw. Because they're part of a freak show, they live in here permanently. So I'm like, how do I cram everything they need to live into a tiny little space that's pulled behind a car? I don't know. But I think I managed, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. This one is a spread that I did for a video, so I will put the link in the eye. And I just used a grey one of these pens and went over the ones that I liked with darker grey and black, and yeah, I really like how it turned out. I also really love this page. This is one of my favorite spreads because I don't really use red a lot for some reason, and then all of a sudden I discovered red and I was like, bam, 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 bam. This drawing actually inspired me to dress up as Satan for Halloween, and I made a red cape from scratch, and that is the only costume I've ever made for Halloween because Halloween's not a big thing in Australia, and it's also my favorite costume I've ever made for Halloween. So I'm not sure that Halloween was really a big thing in England in like the 1910s where the freak show is set, but I think that the folks in the freak show would love Halloween, and I love drawing them dressing up. We've got Sunny as Satan himself, obviously, and then we have Shrimp curled up in Sunny's cape. This was the drawing that started it all. This was the first one that I did, so I love it. I love his little leggies sticking out the bottom. They're so cute. And then here's Sunny eating a marshmallow that he roasted. And then up here, we have him like hissing at Felix, trying to scare the crap out of him. And Felix is like, "You look so cute." And Sunny's upset because he's meant to be scary. And then down here we have Felix dressed as a ghost, and then we have Skelly, Shelly, and Patrice in their various costumes, and Shrimp as a skeleton again. I think they'd have a lot of fun with Halloween because they all love dressing up. It is absolutely canon that they go ham on Halloween, and Bertha has a lot of fun making everyone's costumes. They all help her out. It's great. Then we have Monty and baby Julie. I drew Monty's hair parted the wrong way and it will forever bug me, but it's fine. Overall, I love the drawing and I think it's adorable. So my friend and I have always been a little bit obsessed with Bill and Ted. We watched them back when we were kids, and we went and watched Bill and Ted 3. Bill and Ted Face the Music is iconic and I love it. So I got inspired to draw like a clothing swap between Bill and Death and Ted, and this is what I came up with. And then we have Death, and if you've seen Bill and Ted 3, you'll know he wears platform shoes in that movie and they are gorgeous. So I just finished it off with some fishnets. It's an ensemble and I love it. And then we have Death coming out to get the hellish morning herald from his front lawn, and a little pen sketch of Archie to fill in the space. This is another one of my favorite spreads in the entire book. We've got teen Adair being all angsty. He was a 90s teen, but being from like a musical family, he adores the Ramones, he adores punk music, like bold choices from a man who does not make bold choices. Also, he used to skateboard all the time as a teenager. It's the sort of thing that I think he'd kind of want to get back into these days, but he's kind of scared of, like, now that he's a bit older, that he'll like damage himself. And he's got his Walkman And then that inspired me to draw like all 4 generations of Powells as teenagers. So we've got Arthur back when he was 16 in 1955. And yes, he is wearing Biff Tannen's shirt from Back to the Future. And then we've got Rusty, aged 14, back in 1973. And he was a gawky teenager. He had this little mustache that he was clinging onto for dear life for no good reason. But eventually he grew a full beard and he had a glow up and it was fine. And then we have Adair, and I wanted to make a point of giving my characters acne when they're teenagers. And it is canon that Adair gets acne on his forehead. Even to this day, sometimes. I'll just slot one in there. It's kind of fun to draw, not gonna lie. But the only issue is that like I'm too scared to commit to it so it doesn't show up that much. Because there's a fine line between like a little red dot and a laser pointer. So yeah, this is Adair, aged 15 in 1997. And then we have Sparky, looking adorable, learning from the fashion mistakes of Powell's past for his school photo in 2015, aged 15. Then we have another one of Harvey because I got back into Stardew Valley. It comes in waves, but it happens. And it's just a more in-depth thing of that sketch where he's painting his model airplanes. And this one's really fun. I'm pretty sure I did this with Poscas and it was heavily referenced from another artist. So if I can find them, I will put a thing here, I guess. And then this was me using what I learned from this one to make my own drawing of Shane. He is a very underrated character and I love him. Then we have Rusty and baby Sparky being all adorable. His nose does not look like his nose in this picture, but it's fine. And then we have Fern, my love, my life. This is Sparky's mum, and she's getting him ready to go to the park in his little dinosaur onesie. And she's got her matching dinosaur t-shirt because they love each other so much. They gotta match. They gotta match their outfits. Look at them. They are adorable. Ugh, my voice. I haven't spoken this much in years. So here we have Johan. This is Emilio's Bubba, and he's sunning himself, which he shouldn't be. He's a doctor. He should know that you shouldn't fall asleep in the sun. You'll get sunburnt, but here he is nonetheless. And then we have a little baby Emilio falling into the bushes, being all adorable. And then Johan joins him because Johan's like, oh, it's comfy? Let me try. And then this is the whole family all together. So we have Johan, Nusha, Emilio, Neva, Esther, and Camilla. Or maybe Esther and Camilla. I don't know. I get them mixed up. I wrote it down here. Thank God. Okay, so we have Esther, who is 10, Camilla, who is 8, Emilio is 5, Nusha is 4. There we go. All good. Thank you, past me. I wouldn't have been able to figure that out without you. This is another one of my favorite drawings I've ever done. It is now my profile picture for everything. It is a 3-way staring contest because I was like, I want them to have a staring contest, but there's 3 of them. So how am I gonna do this? That's how. Rusty has his powers of hypnosis out again. He's got his eyes pointing in 2 different directions. I gave Butch these like giant anime eyes, and the goal with Flex was to make him look like a snake, and I think I succeeded. And then down here, this is them looking a little bit more normal. We've got Butch asking if they want to go a few rounds, just for fun, just for sport, and these 2 are petrified. They're like, look at this man, look at this buff Irish man in our presence. We are both going to perish. That's it. None of us are going to survive this. And then underneath, there's a sneaky little drawing underneath. Oh, my voice is cracking. Help me. Avert your eyes if you don't want to see Butch in the shower. You can't see anything, but like, here he is. He's in the shower, washing those long locks of his, which I feel like he has a smile on his face, but washing that much hair would be an absolute chore and I would hate every second of it. So I'm glad he's enjoying it at least. Then we have another one of Butch. I don't like this drawing as much as this one. I think he just looks a little bit better proportioned in this one, and I like it a lot better. But I just really like drawing him, especially side on, so I decided to do it again and experiment with texture, all that good stuff. He's got his septum ring, his eyebrow piercing, which you couldn't see in the other one, and you can see all the piercings on his other ear. You can also see the little divot where his bridge piercing was, but he took it out. I like adding little details like that, even if people don't notice it. I don't know, I know it's there, and if someone does notice it, I'm like, oh my god, you noticed! Then we have this stinky little man. This is Archie's dad. He is evil, as you can see. That's all I'm saying about him. Oh, he's back again. I didn't even notice that he was down here. Okay, well, this is a family photo. There we go, that's a nice picture. Beautiful. This one I also really like. I experimented with colors and lighting, and it's available as a print on my online store if you'd like to grab it. To be honest, I don't even know how well you're going to be able to see this, but this was with one of those rainbow pencils, and it is Butch when he was young, because I was like, what? He probably didn't have long hair his whole life, so what would he look like with shorter hair? And I think he looks really good. I also gave him more piercings. He's got like a middle lip piercing. I don't know the names of any piercings, I'm sorry. And he's got nose piercings on either side, so it makes like spikes. And then his bridge piercing, and yeah, he just looks really cool. Then I have a sketch of Michael Sheen, and another pen sketch of Michael Sheen, and another pen sketch of Michael Sheen. This one is my favorite. Really like how it turned out. Then we have Butch again, and he has a little ginger cat that he's found, and he's just gonna add it to his cat collection. He is a crazy cat lady, and he loves it. And then this is Rusty, Butch, and Flex, and they're in starry dresses. I think Butch, as he gets older, he's more willing to experiment with clothes, and he would get into wearing dresses, but he'd still be a little bit nervous about it. So his friends are like, we'll buy dresses with you. We can all pull it off together. We'll be a squad. It'll be great. This is a ballpoint pen sketch of Emilio. I really like how it turned out, because he's got like a really nice profile, and I love to draw it. So this was really fun, getting to show it off a little bit. This is some more obscure fan art, because I only draw obscure fan art. This is, I don't know if anyone remembers that show Stoked. This was a background character in one of the episodes. It was the episode where the vampires come to stay. This guy was literally like a secondary vampire that didn't even speak the whole time. He was just there to form the squad, and I thought he looked really cool. Oh, Barry, his name was Barry. Then we have Adair and Emilio having a snooze. And these were all of the sketches for my drag queen stickers that I recently put up on my online store. I just did them in ballpoint pen. And this was me designing the freebie sticker that is down here. This is how it started out, and this is when I got paint on my finger, and I was like, I'm gonna do a fingerprint. And it didn't even look like a fingerprint. I was so mad. This is another one of my favorite spreads. We have Molly in the corner here. She is dressed as a ladybug, because I wanted to draw her like this for Halloween, but I kind of missed the opportunity. And then I thought to myself, no, I can dress her up anytime I like. So here she is, dressed as a ladybug, which her girlfriend Bertha 110% made this costume just for her, and she loves it, y'all. Then over here, this is a bit of an interesting one. This is the first time I have drawn Butch with May, Chip, and Benson, because when I originally designed Butch, I designed him as another person in Rusty and Flex's friend group. He was a pub friend, and his story was completely separate from the Bedford family. But part of Butch's story is that he has a daughter, and I hadn't designed his daughter yet, and I also hadn't designed a father for May. So I was like, what's stopping me from just merging their stories? And it worked. All of their ages lined up where they should, and their timelines worked, and it was accidentally perfect. So this was my first drawing with them as a family. Then down here, I really wanted to showcase what these three are like when they're old. It's exactly the same as when they're young. They just have more grays. And here they are, looking all wise. Flex is like, how come you look old and wise, but I just look old? And their response is, it's all in the hands and the beards. Then up here, I just wanted to do like a character turnaround of Chipper, because he has a scar on the back of his head, and it's not often that you just draw the back of someone's head, so I thought I may as well just do a character turnaround of him, and I really like how it turned out. Then down here, we just have May and Chipper going for a stroll in the park, being all adorable. It also gave me the opportunity to draw his new wheelchair. Even though it was really hard to draw, it was also a lot of fun doing all the little curves and like the light shining off it. He's also got stickers on his wheelchair that Benson gave him, and he thinks they're really snazzy. I do too. Then we have a little pen sketch of Din Djarin, this Baby Yoda that I never finished. This is Baby Yoda trying to get his hands on those delicious eggies. And then we have a painting of Darth Maul. I am really happy with how this turned out because it was difficult, it was time consuming, but it was worth it. And side note, we need more live action Darth Maul. That's all I'll say. He is very cool. Then we have this page of my character Klaus. He is part of Felix's freak show and he was born without skin. He is a muscle man. This is the first one that I did on this page, and I really like how it turned out. The wheels are a little bit wonky, but we'll ignore that. Overall, I really like how it looks. And then I drew these two at the top. It's him in his winter coat, sitting outside doing some drawing, because he is a bit of an artist. And he does like all of the cool banners that they used to have at freak shows to like show what acts they have. So he's very talented. Here he is doing some studies of the flowers in the grass. And then here he is adjusting his canvas, getting ready to finish off a painting. Klaus was a character that I just had sitting around for a long time and he didn't really have much story, but while I was drawing these, I was brainstorming left, right, and center, and now he has a whole backstory. He's got a personality. Mwah! Beautiful. Love it. Then over here we have Adair and Emilio and their new roommate, Eek. Adair is extremely afraid and Emilio is equally afraid, so I don't know how they're gonna get out of this situation. Then up here is a sketch of Adair and he looks really sad. I didn't mean for him to look sad. I was just gonna draw him looking in the mirror and then I was like, how do I jazz this up a little bit? So I put his hand on his face and then he looked really sad, and then I put bags under his eyes and he looked even sadder, and my god. He is sad like kinda often, not gonna lie, but like, did I have to draw him looking miserable? No. Then over here I did some studies of some clothes, and basically what I did is I went onto YouTube and looked up Best Dressed. They're like a fashion channel, I guess, and I looked at one of their lookbook videos and just paused it and drew some of the outfits that they had. And yeah, I think it really helped me to get down some like clothing folds and stuff like that, so I might do that more often. And then down here is my most recent piece. We've got like teenage / young adult Julie and Elijah, and they're just sitting on a bench staring lovingly into each other's eyes while they have a chat. I love them so much. I love them so much. I don't really have anything else to say, just I love them. And that is it. We have reached the halfway point. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun taking you through my halfway sketchbook tour. If you want to keep up with the sort of things that I do in my sketchbook, I post a lot of it on my Instagram, which is linked down below. And if you want to see the sort of references that I use, I've got my Pinterest, also linked down below. It's pretty aesthetically pleasing if you ask me. That's just my opinion, so feel free to check that out. Or don't, it's up to you, I don't mind. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!